Kedivist Tallinnist, and welcome to the Predator EPBF European Championships of 2025. We've reached the 8-ball division. Oh yes, one of my favourite games, and what a match to start with. It's Mad Max Lechner up against the very cool, calm and collected Casper Matikainen. With me in the booth is a man from the Netherlands, but via the valleys. It's, oh yes it is, it's Gethin Davis. Hello Gethin.
Hi Mark, great to be here, and a great introduction by the way. I've never heard the Mad Max Lechner, and I actually clocked his full first name today, Maximilian, which is something we can play with through the match, I'm sure. But I agree with you, 8-ball is my favourite discipline. There is so much to talk about from a commentating point of view, and a lot of options from the player's point of view, so it should keep us all on the edge of our seats.
Here we go then. Max has won the lag, and we'll break off in this race to 8.
Did he make one there?
He did.
He's got a very good spread on the balls there. It's a nice starter for Mad Max.
Great nickname, isn't it? Of course, taken from the film.
Well, I've not had the chance to see Max play yet, although we've obviously seen lots of him in action before this tournament. However, I have had a chance to have a sneak peek at Casper, and he is a very cool customer around the table, so it'll be interesting to see how these two match up today. Again, the opening round of the 8-ball, so we do tend to find the fireworks can happen right from the get-go. He's gone for the stripes, and I think it would only be the 14 ball not being able to take an easy centre that might be something he wants to consider. But after that solid break, he's given himself every chance here, Mark.
Yeah, he'd love to take the stripe. The 12 ball, I think it is, take that and then stop the cue ball, and he's on that problematic 14 into the opposite corner pocket. He may even be able to stun over here and play it into the side as well. See what kind of angle he's got on this one, Gethin.
Well, we also should note that the players are starting a little bit later this morning compared to the other first rounds we've been commentating on, so maybe they've had a little bit more table time, a little bit more used to the run of the cloth, and see if it's playing any differently to how it was last night.
Pool players are renowned for not liking their early mornings. They're kind of nocturnal, aren't they, pool players?
The complete opposite to commentators. I don't understand, Mark.
Yeah, it's not a good fit though, is it? We're waiting to commentate for them and there's no players to commentate on. Let's get up.
Yeah, but I'm sure this one was worth waiting for. He's making short work of this. He's very composed around the table. He's not rushing.
He's one of the class players, isn't he? A US Open finalist, of course.
I've always enjoyed watching him play, Matt.
And there it is, the first rack then to Max Lechner. And I first saw actually Max play during COVID. He was playing these online challenges, and I was working for a company called Sharpshooter from Italy, and they would arrange these online challenges that the players would set their phones up in their respective locations, and they'd have a battle, you know, kind of like playing the Ghost, but not playing the Ghost, if you know what I mean, unless they were playing Fed or Ghost. Then they were playing the Ghost and the Ghost, kind of.
That's That's really interesting. It's amazing how many ways the players and anyone came up with regards to keeping themselves occupied during them times. It's good, and I think it sparked off a lot of other different interests in pool from that, especially in the online world. And I think most of all, it enabled us to really start to commentate from remotely, from remote positions, and it's working very well.
Well, it's how I got my start, Gethin. I'd only sort of commentated a couple of smaller events in local pool rooms before that, and then the chance
trying to be quiet in the corner.
No, not me. It's allowed.
I tell you what, I do like Casper's break here. I think he'd be learning to. Yeah, I think he'd be learning, looking to return the favour. He's kept the cue ball in a good spot.
Yeah, alternate break. They are under a shot clock as well, guys. 35 seconds, 125-second extension each per rack. Each player allowed one timeout in the match in this race to 8.
Yeah, very important to point that out. That might come into play a little bit more in the 8 ball as it does in 10 and 9 ball. So be interesting to see how they react to the shot clock. But both these players, I'm sure, have played enough under the shot clock to be quite finely tuned.
There's often the discussion whether 8 ball should be slightly more. I can remember having a conversation with Torsten Holman and Ralph Souquet in Puerto Rico, I think it was, and they just played the World 8 ball, and they said that they believe that it should be at least 40 seconds for 8 ball because it's a lot more thinking to be done, and you know, it can kind of ruin the game slightly if the shot clock's too short because it's making players rush into decisions that they may not normally, you know, take balls on.
No, I think it's good to listen to the players as well because, you know, they will understand the subtle differences from the playing level better than those looking from afar. I did have a little think about the straight pool ideas you mentioned that was brought to you by Earl Strickland, and it's been growing on me, Mark.
Well, that's good to hear. I will certainly be doing my best to put it in front of the people that might be interested in getting a tournament on, because I think straight pool's a great game. I kind of fell in love at first sight this time. Yeah,
it's as we were both alluding to during the straight pool competition earlier this week, I find it the most entertaining to play and the most useful for building on skills. So
I'm even going to start calling it just straight from now on. I want to get down with the kids.
Casper just had a little shake of his head there. He's not where he wanted to be to get easy shape on the 8. Yeah, as you see there from the great overhead view, he's just slightly the wrong side and screwing towards the 9. It'd be interesting. Can he just... Oh, he's gone
forwards with right. Played it well.
Played it very well. Yeah, I think the 9 just hampered him screwing back for the easy position there.
As you said, chance to return the favour after that great square break. Hit them really well. It's going with serve at the moment, so to speak, to use the tennis term. So the 8 ball is underway and we're nicely poised at 1-1 in this race to 8. Maximilian will be breaking next, so he'll be racking the balls. The table is tapped, so we're not using any triangle or template or anything like that. No need for it. We've had a bit of tapping going on.
But you also brought up earlier in this match that it's alternate break, and do you think the first person that sort of, as you alluded to with tennis, breaks serve, do you think that's where we're going to start seeing people getting their head down then?
It's important, isn't it, to break the serve, and it only takes a dry break or an unlucky scratch, and we know how fickle this game of pool is. Just one little thing can turn a match, so it'd be good to get a 2-rack head start. Looking to go 2-1 up. Max Lechner making a ball in the side. I think it was the 4 that went. What do you fancy here? Stars or stripes? Or spots or stripes?
Yeah, stars or stripes. Well, he's got a little cluster with the stripes there, and he's really close to this too, which makes it a more certain pot. I've got a feeling he's gonna. Yeah. He's just eyeing up the stripes there as well, so I would probably go for solids here, but Max may have other ideas. If he feels that that cluster of stripes isn't a problem, there's a very good case for taking the stripes here. But I know that he'll want to not give away the ball here. He'll want to find a pattern through to the 8 ball.
Just call his extension. So it's 60 seconds after the break. He's already used up 60. He's now gone into his 25-second extension. So that's something to think about later on in the rack. He's already used his extension early. And that's...
Yeah, it's not...
A quick look there, look.
It's not often you see them using the extension so early, but I completely understand why he did.
The 8 got bumped up the other end of the table on the break, and I thought maybe 1 was going to be his key ball to get on the 8, but he's going to have to come up with something different now. It's good to see the way these guys work through the patterns in their own way, isn't it, Gethin? Always interesting.
Yeah, and I think Max did exactly what he needed to do there, which was that 5 was in a tricky spot to have to try to bring the cue ball down here. He needed to find an alternative pocket for that 5, and that was perfect. It's a stop shot for the 7, and you know, with where the 6 is, there's every chance of coming back up for the 8. And I think it was where the 8 was, which was giving him the cause for concern right from the start of the rack, having to come back from the solids all the way back up the table with... Oh, do you think the stripe's covering the 8 into the corner pocket there? The overhead view was telling us something. And
yeah, he can just draw up the side of the left-hand side of the table as we look. Play the 8 into the top right.
Find the gap between the middle pocket and the 12
twice
ball.
Across, so it does go. It does go
How'd you
into
like
that corner.
That's a good pace.
Played to perfection. Another break and run. This is a break and run fest.
It is. I mean, it's exciting to watch, and it's just showing how the players are not going to give an inch in this match. It could be that one mistake that completely swings this game, and I do like it when it gets to that sort of level. Lovely view of the hall here. I believe you've been here before, Mark. Did we discuss that?
I have. I've actually been inside this hall. This is the basketball arena at the Kalevi Sporty Hall, the Kalev Sports Hall, to say it in English. And next door is a running track and all the other good things, long jump and high jump and bit of pole vault as well. I didn't try the pole vault, but I did run around the track until I got dizzy and fell over. So 2-1 behind. Casper breaking off. Is it dry?
Do you know, from the shake of that hand, it is.
Oh, that's disastrous in 8 ball.
It is, and he's got a good spread. There's no clusters. There's nothing to really give Mad Max a headache here. He's still got to make the decision on which ones he's going to go for, solids or stripes here.
Well, Casper can blame no one else but himself. He racked the balls himself. He whacked the balls himself as well. Didn't make a ball.
Yeah. And I think Max is just... I think that 2-ball is forcing him to go for the stripes here. Well, he pushed a solid over onto the 7, so it gives him a little bit of respite, knowing that his opponent would be in trouble if he decided to go safe or made a mistake. And I think this is a key shot here to get rid of the 10 ball. The 10 ball is not in the nicest position down there. No. Maybe just overrun that.
Alex Montpellier has made a good start, 3-1 up in his match. 28 tables in use here.
Yeah, and Alex Montpellier, a dear friend of many of our commentating team here. It'd be good to see him go deep within the tournament, and he has every chance of doing so. However, Max is hoping to do the same himself. I think he's eliminated any real problems now. This is all about cue ball control. Yeah, I think Casper will be disappointed not potting a ball off the break there. It could be margins like that will shape the result of this game.
Alexa Pachel also in action against Casper. They're 1 each at the moment, and joining the tournament today will be, well, Albin Ocean, arguably one of the best players in the world, of course, world champion, Moscone Cup legend already. We saw his sister on here yesterday in the 10 ball, had a real struggle against a German called Angeline Lubinaz, who I'd never seen play before, but she started out very, very well and had her chances to win it, but Jasmine somehow clawed her way back like the champion she is to stay in the tournament.
I did manage to catch a bit of that, and it was a real sign of a true professional, because the German had every chance of winning that and really played strong, but the grit, the determination, and I think that's what comes from playing a lot of tournaments. And Jasmine did best her in the end, but it's just a testament to the number of big guns we're going to have here over the next few days. This being day 5, the start of the 8 ball. The big guns are coming.
They're starting to fire as well, especially this one. And he's got some guns on him as well, hasn't he? He's been working out, he's grown a beard, he's looking a completely different guy. I didn't recognise him. I thought, who's this guy coming in the arena? And then I realised, I saw the tattoos on the arm, Max Lechner.
He gives it away. But yeah, you're right, he is he's really focused on his physique and fitness, and I think that also helps, especially with the number of tournaments these guys would like to get through in the year.
just realising, aren't they, that you don't just have to be physically fit, you have to be mentally fit as well. You have to eat correctly, get the workouts, get the reps in the gym done as well, so that when these long days do come along, you've got the stamina and you don't suffer from fatigue. So they really are all-round sportsmen now.
And you notice that with the level of and the consistency of the pool players we have on the circuit today, because it's no easy thing to do what they do and to actually maintain it for the length of time that they're able to do it.
Yeah, great shot. Has he had a bit of luck or not? I have to take on a long stripe here. Does have an angle to do something about getting on those other two stripes down that end.
Yeah, he does. That'll be all about pace then. He may elect to go into it hard.
I like dragging this. Look at this for a shot. Look at this.
Great position.
But he's a tall lad, but he still needs to grab the extension for this one. You see him screwing it onto the end of the butt. Big part of the pool players' equipment now, the extension. They'll do just about anything to avoid using the bridge, most of them. Maybe just a little nudge into the 14, the 10, is it?
Yeah.
It's gone slightly wrong. It's gone wrong. Whenever you're nudging into a ball, that's why they don't really like doing it. Surprised he played it so slowly, to be honest. Maybe thought he was going to catch it a little bit fuller.
Yeah, I agree. I thought he was always going to be hitting it in that direction, which meant, well, I would rather have had it off the cushion. But you brought up the tools that the players were using, and it brought me back to the first match we worked together on, and the player put a rest across the table and then bridged his hand off the rest, which was a first for me and something that you'd seen before. I was very impressed. Great use of the tools. So their arsenal is getting larger by the day.
Yeah, I saw it used in snooker before. I believe it was Mark Williams that did it. I remember the moment you're talking about. We do have our first miss. I had a dry break from Casper, but that's our first missed pot. Now Casper needs to capitalise on this. Doesn't want to fall too behind.
Okay. I saw the 7 as being the obvious pot there. He elected to go for the 1 so he can keep the 7 here to get down for the 2-6, I would imagine. Yeah. I think he chose to go the right way there. He elected to take the slightly more difficult 1 ball and, you know, put himself in a little bit of danger by moving other balls, but it's worked out well.
Last time I saw Casper play was in Finland, in Helsinki, in his hometown actually, when I was there last year commentating on an event in the 24/7 club. I don't know whether you know the 24/7 billiardi, 24-hour a day. You get a little key card and pay your monthly subscription of €75 and go and play whenever you want. You've got ball cleaners there. You have to clean the balls yourself, clean the table. There's vending machines for drinks and food. Yeah, it's a lovely little club. It's actually owned by Riku Rompanen's dad, called Eero. Eero Rompanen.
And still going.
Yeah, it's a great club.
Fantastic.
I'm due to be going there again on the 23rd of this month, but I don't think I'll be able to fly, so I think I'll be remote for that one.
Gets a bit cold in Finland. I hope you take a jacket when you do go.
Oh, I lived in Estonia for 8 years, just 80 kilometres across the Baltic Sea, so I know all about the weather there. Minus 25. People used to look at me as I walked around in the winter just in a shirt, because I hated having to check my coat at a nightclub. I just hated doing that. I wanted to get straight in and on the dance floor.
Can't be queuing.
So, exactly.
Well, Casper took advantage of Max's mistake, and he's got a chance to bring it back to 3 apiece here if he holds his break. Now, there is a little bit of an issue with the 7-1-12 that he's going to have to... Yeah, he's having a look at it now. He's having a think. If the 12 passes the 1, then he's got every chance of playing for position for that off the 11 ball. He's going solids. Does that mean he's taking the cannon on?
It's a combo, Gethin. It's a combo.
It is, and it isn't a straightforward combo, so we'll see what he does here, Mark. Oh, he's played that well. Yeah. Oh, the 6 might sneak through there. Great camera angle. That 6 could have caused him a few problems, or at least forced him to have to play a certain position on the table.
I think blue 2 was his next target.
Yeah. But the 5 not passing there.
Well, it leads to the 6. And the 6 can play a little bump into the 8 here.
Yeah, the 6 having a gap through there has really helped him here.
Oh, he didn't need a bump. He's okay.
Just getting his extension out. Keep an eye on the shot clock.
Yeah, last 2 solids in the same pocket. 8 in the side.
Yep.
And we've got ourselves a level match again.
And I have a feeling Casper not letting Max get that or maintain a 2-frame lead is going to be really important to sort of keep him at close. Because Max, from where I've seen him play in the past, he can really run for fun. 8, 9 or 10.
There you see our other table in action. That's also available on Pro Billiard TV. Conrad Musician in action. I think that's Conrad, isn't it?
No, that's Maciol, I believe.
It's Daniel Maciol. I beg your pardon. They're both tall, slim lads, aren't they?
They are taller than me.
So back to the action on our table then. Max Lechner to break off. Finally poised.
You mentioned being out in Finland. They have some good players, and I believe we have Petri Mäkinen also playing in the tournament from Finland. So they clearly do love their pool up there, and one of my favourite pool players is from Finland too, the great Mika.
Mika Imminent, player of the decade. Back in 2010, I believe it was. Played absolutely fantastic in that decade, won everything the game had to offer. He'll be back in his hometown, Finland. Actually had a coffee with him at one of the shopping centres in Helsinki during the last tournament. Great guy. Wish you well, Mika. Don't forget, also, the young and upcoming Rompen, who I mentioned earlier on, real good talent, already taken some pretty big scalps, reached the semi-final of the tournament in the Billiardi 24/7 last year. Got beaten by Nu Kioi, who went on to beat Francisco Sanchez Ruiz in the final.
That was a great final as well. I do like Kamui Brand. He's one hell of a character. But you're right, that lad is an absolute beast, and he is fearless, especially against the bigger players. You know, there is just not a glint of fear in that Finnish lad's eyes. He's got all the future ahead of him.
Yeah, I saw him in Vegas a couple of years ago. He beat Skylar Woodward in the Las Vegas Open, just aged 14 at the time he was.
Wow, that's no mean feat over on their home soil. Well, Max has gone for solids here. He's elected to take the one now. And he could hold for the 2 and play around the angles, or he could screw back for the 4 in the corner bag, exactly down the line of that camera angle there.
He's going to go the other way. He's going to leave the 1 ball, I think, as his final ball.
Yeah, he was good enough on that 4.
Well, maybe take the 1 now, though. Anywhere kind of in the area he is now, so low left on the cue ball. Just a little stun draw off the side rail.
Yeah, that's much more efficient pull. He didn't need to take it round and threaten hitting any stripe or even the 8. I think he's played the most efficient route to success here. And he had to put a bit of side on that.
Inside, yeah, lots of right hand spin to check it off of that route. So this unmissable 8 into the side, and he'll be 1 ahead once again. Fast moving game.
We've had a lot of break and runs in this match already so far. This is strong stuff. You see, these arc tables are playing great, Mark. I've been very impressed with them, and they just look great under the camera. Some of the design work on it from the side as well is just, it's sublime. I think the players are enjoying it too.
The gunmetal pocket surrounds are, I think, very, very sexy, looking lovely, playing lovely, and the Aramith balls as well look very, very nice.
Wow.
Balls flying in everywhere.
Yeah. That's how you want to see the balls coming away from the break. You have 2 tracking towards the centre from behind the head ball, and the back wing balls swinging around the angles and coming back into the corner pockets. And he nearly had all 4 in that one. That would have been incredible. Yeah. He's left himself a cluster down where the rack was originally, Mark. Oh, it looks like
it take stripes. The 14 isn't affected by that cluster, so they're all in the open here.
From that camera angle, it looked like if he couldn't pot in the other corner, there was a path to running into the 5 somehow and making a plant. maybe it didn't go, Mark.
Yeah, maybe it didn't. That's why he's elected to move it now. Now, it's kind of messed things up slightly because I thought he needed to get on the 15 kind of pretty early, which would lead him to the stripe into the top right-hand corner.
Yeah.
So he's in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah.
Can he drop this in the side? Can he take it in the side?
Well, we do know they're tight pockets. I just think if he does play it in the side, he's got to hit it with enough pace to leave shape on the the 12, because I don't think he can get anything. Or maybe a bank on the 15, perhaps. Yeah, great shot. I think the centre pocket was a little bit tight.
Well, he's played a great shot there. He has a nice angle for the ball into the bottom right hand corner. That takes him over to that 15, which does pass. Stop shot for the last ball. Wants it to be straight. Yeah, it's a little bit too much of an angle here, I think. May have to go into this one, depending if he can just cheat the pocket slightly.
Yeah, and I think if he can, if he does go into it with just the right amount of pace, he should leave it on for the corner pocket. It's a good call, Mark. Oh, he thought he could hold it. We have just seen him make a pot similar to this with authority.
Yeah, that's what got the break going, wasn't it? The one into the same pocket, actually, wasn't it? Good shot.
He's got to negotiate, make sure he misses the 7 here.
Yeah, he'll come back in between the 7 and the 1, won't he? Little bit of spin. Wow, can you believe that? Completely took his eye off the ball there. Too much focus on the white ball. Forgot to pot the main ball.
Well, Max is looking at the 1 ball for an opener, and if he can get underneath, or down just underneath the 8 ball, I believe that 4 ball will pass. Yes, the 4 ball easily passes the 6. Oh, he's elected to go for the 5. Oh. Is he just off straight on that? I think he'll be running into the 6, or he'll screw back. No. He moved the ball. And I don't think he was too impressed with how it played out.
Yeah, big shot needed now. It's the thin one. Looking to go 3 rails round the back of the 7. Extension called once again, so a further 25 seconds to contemplate how he's going to go about this. Oh, time running down. He's not even down on the shot yet.
Yeah, he just didn't like the angle of that 4, and I think he took the right decision there.
Nice little soft draw there. Holding for the 6.
Yeah. He's just up against the cushion, so he's going to have to run through a little. Oh, great pace on that. But the cue ball's tracking against the cushion again. Shouldn't be a problem
for these guys. It's like the cushion's not even there.
Yep. And that is Max with a 2-frame lead. And we'll now start asking questions of Kasper.
Yeah, and he's breaking, which is very bad news for the Finn.
Yeah.
It seems if you come from Finland, you're either a very, very good racing driver, a Formula 1 driver, or you're a very, very good pool player. I'm not sure what other sports they play. I know they love their ice hockey.
It was just nice to watch the two having a little bit of banter between each other whilst Max was racking there. And now we can see the other match on our other TV table. Daniel Maciol at the table. He was running away with his matches over the last few days, but just came up against it in the semis, I believe.
What a break this is. Made both wing balls in the side pocket.
Yeah. And everything's opened. There's no real big problems for him here.
Yeah, no break box for the 8 ball. We were using a break box for the 10 ball. You weren't allowed to break inside the box, but now you can break from anywhere in the 8 ball.
Yeah, that's good to point that out. I think where the 9 is will ensure that he goes for the solids, because the 9 is just not easily potable there in the corner. So he's gone for solids, and I like his chances. Now the 9 may come into play when he wants in on this 3, so it'll be interesting to see how he takes these first couple of balls. He might want that 3 now, Mark.
That's what great players do, get rid of the problem balls very, very early. First opportunity they get to get that one out the way, they'll do it. And he's nicely on it now. Five ball will be his key ball. Or is that the 7 on the left? I beg your pardon. Oh, has he nudged that out the way enough? I think he's okay. A little bit of a scary moment there for the Austrian.
Yeah. I think he stopped from putting it in the middle bag, if our overhead camera is not too deceptive. Oh no, it's not. You were right. I thought he was forced to playing it long.
Just pushed it out the way just enough. So he's worked these really, really well, hasn't he? 4 ball next.
And you mentioned the 7 as the key ball. I don't like it when it's down there next to the ball. You have to be very particular with your angles here. He's going to try and leave this as straight as he can. Great shot. Put a lot of spin on that cue ball to a lot of left-hand side.
Straightforward draw. Yeah, it's looking a little bit worrying now for Matikainen. This will be 6-3, 3-rack lead with just 2 needed to advance. Double elimination, of course, so it's not the end of the road for Kasper, should he go on to lose this one. And we've got lots more action coming for you today, guys. Another match coming up at 1:30. More 8-ball action for you from the men. The women also in action in the 8-ball. What else have we got going on today, Gethin? Do you know?
Oh, I think tonight might be a big evening for us all. We've got the 10-ball finals happening, so, and I believe it's both the men's and the ladies, and possibly all discipline, the under-23s and the wheelchair. And we'll be bringing two of them matches live for you at the same time. I'm not too sure because the times haven't been officially announced, but I will double check on that. They may have.
Just keep your eyes, guys, on probilliardseries.com or the EPBF website. All the good stuff you need to know is on there. The schedules, the times, the players, the different disciplines we got. Just hop on over to any of those. Keep an eye on the Pro Billiard Series Facebook page as well. Everything you need to know, including some great photographs from the beautiful Kalevi Sporty Hall here in Tallinn for your viewing pleasure.
Absolutely. And also, the one thing I really like is being able to go back and watch them again, because sometimes there's so much happening and these players can play so quickly, it's hard to take it all in sometimes.
So must-win rack here for Matikainen.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got every chance of doing that here at this visit. And I've just checked the schedule and it looks like it will be 6:30 Tallinn time for the finals, so we will work the times out for our viewers at home, depending where they are in the globe. But Casper just shook his head there, Mark. He's not happy with how he's left the cue ball here. He didn't want to do that. However, I don't think he'll find the 4 too tricky if he wanted to take that on.
He also has choice the 2.
Probably the wiser option.
Miss it, needs to miss it. Well, just struggling with the cue ball slightly at the moment, and still okay. Can play it into the corner, no problem.
Can he screw it into the centre and hold the cue ball off the 15? That's a bit of a tricky shot, though. And does the 3 pass the 10? What do you think from that camera angle, Mark?
Yeah, I think it does.
You have one of them high-definition monitors, though, don't you?
I do. Unfortunately, my eyes aren't high definition.
Did he bump that one enough? It's a game of this is a rack of bumps.
Here's your answer. Here's your answer. The short stick is out. We're going airborne with fin out.
Oh, that was a great shot. I think he only needed to go over the edge, so didn't need to do too much, but he's played that very well, Mark.
He played it with a bit of draw as well, which was well played. It's not just being able to jump over balls, it's being able to control the cue ball as well.
Very good.
Well done.
Very
wasn't an easy out, was it, there for Casper?
No, it wasn't at all, and I think this has given him a bit of a chest-puffing moment now, and if there was any questions being asked inside mentally, I think he's just answered himself, so I think if Max doesn't get a good break here, Casper is going to be itching to reduce that deficit down to 1, so let's see what Mad Max does. And yeah, as I was mentioning, the finals at the moment look like they will be starting at 6:30 Tallinn time, which is 5:30 our time in the Netherlands and 4:30 in the UK, I believe. And if I've got that wrong, then I will come back to you on that, but that's my math on that for now.
Well, great game going on there between Daniel Maciel and Tobias Bongas. Bongas is at it again. He's 6-4 up against Daniel Maciel. And don't forget, Tobias has already won the straight ball division. He's European champion straight ball. Or straight, as they say in the game.
And he'll
Drawing
be flying
a break for
high.
Max.
Yeah, good spot, Mark. And Casper up out of his chair like a cut cat. We're looking, just having a quick look from this camera angle, if the 10 passes the 8, which I don't think he can see a full pocket there, Mark. And that's a great camera angle. It's going to still keep us guessing. Has he come not far enough for the 10? Yeah, he looks like he has.
Yeah, he's good.
That was a great position shot to pick that out. So
should be out here, no problem.
It looks like a 5th
up.
Yeah, he just wants to float up for an angle on this and then leave himself a good solid centre pocket for the 15 and 9-8 out. This is good stuff, Mark.
Who said this game was difficult? It looks very, very easy. It does when these guys are at it.
Yeah, he's picked these off very well. He did have a tricky position shot to play as well.
Very nice indeed. And the deficit is reduced to 6-5. So dry break from Max, and don't forget Casper will be breaking next.
Yeah, and if Casper can keep Max sat in his seat, it will be asking questions of his breaking ability for the next rack. So the other side of that, Mark, is that if Max does break here, he gets onto the hill with break in hand, I guess is what you'd say.
Yeah, he knows he's going to be straight down the centre. Solid hit just below centre on the cue ball. Try and stop it in the centre of the table. Well then, is anything down?
Not by the looks of it. And a little sway of the shoulders from Casper, I think, reveals that no. And Max is up to have an inspection.
So quickly. Lechner to get on the hill here. All in the open. Really no problems. Maybe if you go solids, maybe a little problem. Just those two together there. On the left hand side of your screen. But it is solids he's going for.
Yeah, I think that little cluster may have put him off going for the stripes. A few of the solids up against the cushions, or at close, so might start looking like a bit of a practice drill. But if he can see that 6, that would be his ideal starter here. He's not got down on the shot yet. Has he used his extension?
Yes, I think he needs to go. I think he was looking at going 3 for a second, but he's on this 6 ball, so good time to take it, get it out the way. Seven down the rail.
Yeah, he still doesn't look like he's completely comfortable with the pattern laid out in front of him, so he's going to have to do a little bit of work here. Is he electing to go for the 7? Yeah.
Well, I think he decelerated on that. Didn't cue it well. That's why he's let Casper back to the table. What a chance this now. Wow.
Absolutely. And now we'll see. Oh. You have to excuse me there, Mark. I thought he was going to try and cut that stripe in the middle pocket. Maybe he might be forced to, but from our overhead, that is one of the thinnest cuts you would want to be playing there. He might be forced to have to go for that one, Mark. Or the 9 in the centre, perhaps. He's going to jump over the edge. Ooh. Tricky jump, but looked like he was going to sell out in the middle pocket with the cue ball there, and he hasn't. But Max is back at the table.
Yeah, 3 thou is made more difficult to get on though because of that stripe getting kicked up towards it. So that's going to be the only possible stumbling block, the only saviour maybe for the Finn here. But centre table for that 3, maybe play it now off of this 2.
Yeah.
2,
I just think
3,
he's worried
1.
about that 4. He's got to get back for the 4 somehow, so I think he's going to take it now. I think he had choices, but this is a good move from my point of view. Now how he's going to get back for the 8.
Yeah, that's why I thought he might leave that 4 there. That was the perfect key ball for the 8. So now he's going to have to come back for the 8 ball off of the 1 because it's going to be 2, 3, 1.
Yeah, correct.
Plenty of space down the right hand side of the table to work with, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. This the key shot now. Getting a decent angle on this 1 ball. Probably 3 tight across. One ball into the top left hand corner as we look. Oh, he's played it. He could hold it. That's even better.
Yeah.
9.
He was shaping like he's screwing back off this cushion where his hand is now.
You know, I just wonder, Gethin, I just wonder sometimes, 8 ball for pros just seems to be such an easy game, doesn't it? How could you possibly make it more difficult? Maybe play 8 ball on smaller pockets, or what would be the answer? I mean, these are 4 1/4, right? Maybe play them on 4 inch pockets.
I don't know, but I do know that one version of a few of the disciplines that you can add to the rules, which is, I think they call it in America slop. So rather than just call a pocket, you have to call exactly how you get the ball in that pocket. So if it glances off another ball but still goes in the pocket you called, and you didn't call that glance, that's then a foul and turnover of play. That does add a little bit more of a dimension of difficulty to the game, but I don't know. I think it's just the quality of these pro players make it look easy. I think for the average player such as myself, it's a tough game. It's a tough game.
Always happens though in cue sports, doesn't it? It happened in snooker when players were just, making century after century after century, so they made the pockets tighter. Then the players got used to that. Then they double cropped the cloths to make them faster. The players got used to that. It just seems that pros can just keep adapting to whatever change you make. So, yeah, I think maybe sometimes we just have to enjoy the fact that these players are so good at breaking and running.
Yeah, otherwise we just have to keep adding more balls to the table. He's looking... Yeah. He's made a couple of visits round this side of the table. So he's looking at what... Maybe he's worried about getting shape on the 7. Yeah, I think that's what he's worried about. And he's got an angle off the 1 to connect and with the 2 stripes that are clustered together. I guess he's hoping to hit the middle of them. They break away and he freezes the cue ball there for the 7. That would be perfect.
Daniel Maciel has made a comeback. He's now level at 6-6 with Tobias Bongas, our straight pool champion.
Yeah, Tobias is going to be tough to beat in this competitions, and Daniel Maciel is on form, so they've got a cracker on their hands there. He's still looking at this 7 mark, and his options are limited with it. He's just looking, can he come round the back? I don't know, he's going to have to move some balls, I think.
He could come round the back and clip the 9 ball, take that risk there. Oh, he's decided to go into it. No luck, he's made it worse. Could kick it from behind into the side pocket if he wants to go real aggressive.
I have to say, Mark, I did like your idea of coming round the back and trying to rest the cue ball on the 9. It's a sort of shot that these guys are more than capable of playing. They do like using 2 rails, so that was definitely an option for him there.
Chance to go into it again here. He may draw with low left. Well, that's so unlucky. Okay, though, still has the ball over the top left as we look.
Well, he's got an angle to either try and move the 7 if he wants to, but I think he might try and lock this with a lot of right-hand side on the cue ball and leave him an option to screw off the 2 into the 7. But it's a tough shot. And the 7, from that view, does not pass into the centre pocket. So something's got to move. The 11 or the 7.
Well, this will be his 3rd attempt at developing it. That 7 ball has been a real pain in the side of Max in this, but this is to close out the match. He's on the hill. The 3rd go at it.
How far did it come over? Has it just made the gap? I think it might have, you know.
And won't try to do too much with the cue ball here either. Just bounce back to the centre of the table for the 8. So this looks a good opportunity for Max Lechner to close out this opening match in this year's Predator EPBF European Championships 8-ball division. He He's overcut it. He's overcut it. Can you believe that?
He has. And I don't think Casper was expecting to get out of his chair, so a deep breath.
I think he was expecting to get out of his chair and shake the hand of Max Lechner and say, well done, I'm on the way to the loser's side.
Well, the 7 has covered that pocket, which will make, or rather reduce, Casper's options. So now's the shot to come round the back of them. I think he needs to take that 14 first. Yeah. Oh, wouldn't it be if he stole this one back, Mark? Seven, 6, Casper's break. Ooh, we could have some marvels left in this match.
Just want to mention, all you guys in the chat can't actually read it, guys, not because I don't want to, but because I can't. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. It helps us to keep bringing you all this free pool. There's nothing better than free pool, is there, guys? I'm a big believer that to grow the game, it does need to be very accessible to everyone, just to stumble across it without actually having to go and physically pay for it. So Max out of his chair to rack the balls, or help rack the balls. Casper with a chance to draw level.
Absolutely, and you made a good point there about making it free and accessible pool to everyone. I think one of the biggest tools that I use for learning is going back and watching my own matches, watching other people play, and the fact that it's been brought to you for free just means that everyone's got the opportunity to become a pro player without having to spend over lots of cash for whatever else you need. So I like it, and the fact that you can now get with commentating, with commentary, just adds that extra level to it, because you're able to bring in other brains that can add other dimensions to the game. And yeah, it's a pleasure. And 2 tables, Mark, even better. See, the choices.
Talking 2 tables, on the other table on the hill is the straight pool champion Tobias Bongas over Daniel Maciel. Break off from Casper Matikainen's made a ball. The table looks just a little bit messy. Look at this little cluster down here. The 3, the 2 and the 9.
Yeah, that's a little bit ugly. There may be a chance the 3 passes goes to the corner pocket, but the cue ball's a little bit funny too. Quick thank you to Michael Muller in our chat room, who has just been ensuring that everyone's up on the times for today's finals, semi-finals, finals. Thank you very much, sir. And Casper is finding his cue ball in tricky positions at the moment, so looks like he's going to have to fight a little bit if he wants to get this one at this visit. Yeah, he's taking a bit of extra care on this shot. Oh.
Yeah, didn't really threaten the pocket. That one wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't. And you would have thought that playing such a difficult shot, he would put the cue, or at least try to err on precaution with the cue ball. However, I think this is a good opportunity for Max here. And he's going to open with the 6. Do you think he wants to pick these 3 solids off down here and then move up for the other 3 rather than coming up and down the table too often?
Yeah, you don't want to be up and down, having the cue ball doing too many kilometres really, but sometimes the option just isn't there for him. But I think it would be nice if he could take the 2 and the other remaining solid down here, the 4 ball, and then go and do his work at the business end of the table where the 8 ball is. And he doesn't want to miss this opportunity. He needs to close this out now. Doesn't want it to go hill. Anything can happen hill. We know that.
Yeah, that's a really good point to make though, Mark. Hill, strange things happen on hill, and surprises happen. Max will want to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, I think he's out here.
Yeah, the 5 looks like it passes the 7 there.
Always good to clear areas so that you can then go and concentrate on the other area instead of too much up and down of the cue ball. It's all about patterns.
Absolutely. Oh, he's threading it through the eye of a needle there. He may want to take the 7 now. He looks like he's come for a great angle for it. The 8 doesn't go in the obvious pocket, so he'll be conscious of that.
I think he can just play a little nudge here. May even be able to just drop it in and play the 5 into the opposite. Yeah, just that little nudge. No problem.
Yeah, you saw the nudge there, Mark. Great call. And also a good example of how to control your cue ball. It takes the energy out of the cue ball and leaves it exactly where he wanted it. Looks ominous,
so
Mark.
This straightforward 8 ball into the side pocket will mean Max LECHNER will advance to the next round. It's going to have to be the scenic route for the Finn, Kasper Matikainen. Max LECHNER wins it by 8 racks to 6.